那我们接着要请教关于四无量心的问题哦。这本书里面，大师仁波切在这本书里面，等于帮我们的成佛的修持定了一些基本功课。了解四法印之后，接着就是皈依发心。那发心的部分，仁波切很详细的介绍四无量心。那我知道很多人看了四无量心大概都觉得说听起来很简单，但做起来很困难。那所以我们很想请仁波切为我们介绍，并且带我们练习一次，特别是最后一项的施受法，就是自他交换法。很多人听过，但其实做起来都怕怕的。那怕把别人的坏东西都给交换进来的，其实那个原理不是那样，但的确很多人心里是会这么怕的，所以请仁波切为我们讲解跟引导。
Okay, so normally anything till the time we try it, it is difficult, But when we put effort and just try,then everything becomes easier. As there's a saying, anything that when one tries to make a kind of a habitual, then it becomes easier and easier. Nothing will remain hard if one makes a habit of that, whatever one is doing. So this way, I think one doesn't have to feel that, as you ask the question here, that it sounds easy, but it's hard to put into practice. So it is not hard. You shouldn't think it's hard. Everybody starts from somewhere. And as I told you, our potential is limitless. We all have this Buddha nature, the potential in us. So nothing is impossible. Nothing is difficult. So we shouldn't think that way. That is why, as I told you, in the beginning, the foundation, the 4 great seals, very important. To know your potential, very important. When you truly know your potential, then it gives you, this courage to face any challenge, because you have this wonderful, potential in you, ability in you. So everything is possible. If you don't try, then nothing is possible. Even if you have this great potential in you, if you don't try, then it is sleeping. But if you try, then it is waking up this potential. Then everything is possible.
那在像之前呢讲到这个四法印的时候呢，这个了解四法印它是非常重要的，因为去了解我们的特质，我们的潜能是什么。那了解这个四法印呢，了解我们拥有这个无限的潜能呢，就可以呢让我们去面对任何的挑战，所有的挑战都可以去面对，所有的事情都是可能的。那所以就是说，不要觉得说呢，有些事情是不可能做到，其实都是可以做到的。
I would like to give an example, for example, of a painter again, because today I see wonderful paintings around, and though I don't know, I had never studied or had time to really paint much, but it's one of my hobby, I like to paint, so I'm very much interested. So, it gives me a lot of connection today, so for example, like painting, I'm told, that the first obstacle to a painter's creativity is the fear of, it will not turn out well. That very first move of just starting, flowing, they're scared that if I do something, it will not come out perfect, or it will not come out nicely. Then they are scared to just doing it. But many great artists, I see them saying, just do, don't be afraid. Just do, and then it will, just manifest. Do it. So the first thing is, don't be afraid. Just do. Work on the canvas with your paint. Whatever you feel like, flow freely. So that is the first advice I heard so many great painters, giving. So like that, so same here also, so your practice, you just do it, don't be, one of the biggest, we say, obstacle to a practitioner also, is we have, two, which is, one is the fear of not being able to practice well, my practice, I'm no good practitioner, when I practice I don't feel, it's not going well, so like that is the fear. And the other thing is the hope that your practice should be perfect, should be great, you should feel great bliss, great peace, great, like that, so we have this hope. So we have some experience, let's say some practice in the past, and that gave maybe some nice, kind of experience, then we are hoping for that experience to come back again and again, so always holding on to that hope. And then if some bad experience or not having that experience, then you are, you have fear of not getting that experience back. Or if you had some bad experience or not very, nice experience, then that, fear is there. So we are lost in the hope of a good experience, fear of a bad experience, and we, you lose the present moment, being in the moment. And that is the biggest obstacle for a practitioner. So not only a practitioner, in everything, as I said, whether it's painting, whether it's, your day-to-day life. So these two, challenges, if one can overcome, then you are in the moment. And being in the moment is the presence of the mind. That's called mindfulness. That's called awareness. So if you can be with that, then everything becomes more meaningful, becomes more efficient, becomes more, so this way, so you are able to tap into your, very essence that way. And then here it says, the mind of enlightenment as the base, so which is the ultimate bodhicitta. So here it's talking about our innate potential, the Buddha nature. So that is the ground, the base. Without the base, the ground, then we cannot realize that. So because we have that ground, the potential, therefore we can realize that. Okay. Then the next it says is the mind of enlightenment as path. So which is the practice of the bodhicitta, which is the aspiration and the application of bodhicitta. So here, then the bodhicitta is, you could say the motivation, the purpose, the aspiration, to realize this limitless potential. And how to realize this limitless potential? Because it is limitless. So to realize a limitless potential, we need a limitless means. So that limitless means is directing towards the limitless beings. You cannot, realize that limitless, potential for a limited I. Forget about all sentient beings. Even human beings on this planet Earth, say about 8 billion human beings, if you, equate with I, me, self, it's just 1 equal, 1 is to 8 billion. So how can, one realize that limitless potential thinking about this only I? So this way, then in order to realize that limitless potential, we need to, realize through the power of mind that is able to encompass the limitless beings, for the benefit of limitless beings. And now not just that, but here we are talking about the complete enlightenment, the total, beyond all limitations. So for that, then, working for the enlightenment of all sentient beings, not just for beings' happiness, temporary happiness or temporary, freedom from suffering, but total eradication of all aspects of ignorance. So that is the complete enlightenment. So that is, and for that purpose, I wish to attain enlightenment. So that is the bodhicitta, the aspiration bodhicitta. And then not just aspiring for that, but putting into action by doing practice, like for example, Tonglen practice here, or by doing any meditation, shamatha meditation, vipassana meditation, or any act, whatever you do, so with that base, the aspiration and then the action, so these two are the path, the aspiration bodhicitta and application bodhicitta. So now through that, then the result is total enlightenment, which is ultimate freedom. So now here, then the most important is the state of mind. So that is why we are cultivating, the state of mind, the bodhicitta. What your action or speech is determined by the state of mind. If the state of mind is positive, then sometimes action may look a little bit rough, speech may sound a little bit rough, but because of that positive state of mind, become positive action. But when the state of mind is deluded or negative, and then when you do action, the action may look positive. The speech may sound, very nice, flowery, positive. But because it is generated from a negative mind, and then it creates the cause and conditions of a negative karma. So like that. So state of mind, very important. So that is why I think in the book, there are many stories, and one story about the Geshe Ben, so I saw in the book. So for example, Geshe Ben, and so he was a practitioner, and then it is said that he was expecting his patron to visit him, and so he thought he will present well, because the patron is sponsoring him because of he's a practitioner, spiritual practitioner. But somehow he overslept, and by the time he woke up, it was almost time for the patron to arrive. So then he quickly got up, and then cleaned all his altar and did everything, made everything beautiful. And then he sat down and, trying to do his practice so that when the, his patron come, then he looked like a very good practitioner. So as he was, doing his practice, suddenly, mindfulness came, and then he saw, that what he was doing is not right. Actually he overslept. He did all this just to, show his patron that everything is wonderful, perfect, but that wasn't his main intention. His main intention wasn't true dharma, but it was rather to please the patron only, for the sponsor. So, he felt great, how to say, he saw this. So then he got up and then he took a handful of, ash. In those days they make their own fire to make tea and everything, So he took a handful of ash and sprinkled all over the altar, and made it very dirty, and then he didn't behave or act like he was a great practitioner. So like that, and then to that, then the great yogi Milarepa, so he was an enlightened master with omniscience, and it is said that he said, that in this great land of snow, Tibet, so today there was a great offering, made, the highest form of offering, so which was this, that he made the offering of the dust, isn't it? So it became, that sprinkling of the dust became true offering, because of this, the intention, genuine intention to be who you are, not to trick somebody, but that is the genuine dharma, so like that. So this way, then very important to, bring that in your day-to-day life. That's most important. So always watch your mind, always be mindful of that. Otherwise, sometimes, unnecessarily we create, negative karma, saying bad things about other people, pointing others' mistakes. Cannot see your own mistake, but you see everybody's mistake. And then you mind the business of the entire world. So-and-so not doing this, so-and-so doing this, so-and-so not right, so-and-so not. Unnecessary creating negative karma, unnecessary. So really, we must be aware of this. Why do that? Why mind others' business? Do your own thing. Do the best you can. That's it. And if you can help others, help others. If not, at least, don't go around gossiping about things. It doesn't do any good. So really, because many people, when you are in a group, sometimes if not careful, always, minding others' business, always saying this is not doing that, that is not doing that. But very, few will really look at themselves, turn face towards yourself and see what are you doing, what are you, what is your behavior, what is your thought, how much have you improved, how much have you really benefited, self and others. Very few, so very important this one, so always be mindful. Then you will save a lot of headaches, problems for yourself also by doing that. That is why, the Vajrayana path is considered very skillful path, very profound path. And the base of the practice of Vajrayana path is the practice of the pure perception. Because of this, we always have so much, grasping onto self, always, and self-interest, self-things, and lack in, well-being of others, and we think by doing this we will have, happiness, but actually it doesn't work that way. Actually it's the opposite. So really, the practice of, love, genuine loving kindness, compassion, learning to see the good things in others, and not always, seeing the negative things. And if you see the negative things, try to, reasoning that, it is because of my, wrong view that I'm seeing like this. But in reality, try to see the good side of others. So that way, your own, this positive nature will manifest. So through that, you will be happy. Your mind will be happy. When your mind is happy, your physical body will be happy. So mind and body connected, isn't it? So this way, you will be a happy person. Not always grumpy, not always have, blood pressure problem, so not like that. So very important, this is really, really important. So now in order to, to sow such a mind, then the practice of like Tonglen is very important. So Tonglen, through practice of Tonglen, then we learn to see the importance of the well-being of others, before the well-being of oneself. So Tonglen, Tong means to give. So give all your well-being, happiness to others. Len means to take all the difficulties, shortcomings, sufferings of others onto oneself. So that is Tonglen, giving and taking. So which means seeing the mind of altruism, seeing the well-being of others more important than oneself. So this way, actually what happens is your own well-being automatically, one will experience through this practice. So there are many practices of the Tonglen, different methods. So Tonglen practice also sometimes we say it can, it is like we transform poison to medicine, by such practices. So now when you do Tonglen practice, so let's say here when I said poison into medicine, so poison are like these negative afflictions, the afflictive emotions in us, which are the causes of our suffering. For example, aversion, the attachment, ignorance, so all these, ego, pride, jealousy. So these are the root cause of all our suffering. So they are like the poison. So now we all have, some degree of these in us. And so when we experience them, let's say we have, let's say an emotion, hatred. So when we have a kind of a strong emotion, hatred, so here no need to fight with hatred. No need to say, oh, it's bad, and trying to fight with that. But rather it says, transform that. How do we transform that? Through the Tonglen practice. Recognize that all sentient beings, like yourself, have this great Buddha nature as our essence. But because of these limitations, these afflictive emotions, and in particular the aversion here, hatred here, then we are blinded from truly realizing, recognizing and realizing this perfect potential. So therefore, genuinely wish that may all sentient beings, hatred or the aversion ripen onto this particular aversion that you are experiencing. And may you be able to take all of their aversion onto you, and may all of them be free from such aversion. May all of them be, happy. May all of them realize their potential through being free from these afflictive emotions, which are the causes of suffering. May all of them be free of that. And may it ripen on me. May I become like a representative of all these sentient beings, ripen on me. So like that, so taking onto yourself. So one can also do visualizations, like when you breathe in, then you visualize like a dark, hazy smoke coming in and dissolving into we can say, sometimes we say, our Buddha nature. Our Buddha nature is beyond, all these limitations. So it dissolves into that. And then as you breathe out, all your happiness, well-being, all that go out in the form of great white light. And, it dissolves into all the sentient beings. And they are free from all shortcomings, and it sows the seed of enlightenment in them, and they realize their full potential. So like that. So again and again doing that. So this way now what happens? Your poison becomes medicine. No need to fight with that poison. In fact, that poison has become the medicine for your transformation. So like that. So this is Tonglen practice, one of the Tonglen practice.
所以呢，这个就是我们说呢，这个把这个毒药转化为良药的方式。所以我们其实不需要去这样去对抗这些负面的情绪，我们可以转化它。
Okay, so yeah, a little bit long, but this is very important. So okay, so the next question.
对刚刚讲的有点长哦，但是因为很重要，那所以下一个问题。
非常谢谢仁波切刚才针对四无量心施受法非常完整的教导啊。仁波切的这个教导让人印象很深刻，因为仁波切从整个架构根到果的根是那个就是法印，道的部分就是菩提心，就是究竟的菩提心跟相对的菩提心。然后在这里提到，如果就相对菩提心的部分，就要修持什么呢？就是包括施受法这样的修持。那仁波切讲得非常完整，谢谢仁波切。